never respond to because I don't know what it means. But I now have a response to them. When they say that, I'd say to them, eat cake. And our program director, and thank you for not dimming the lights. I think dimming the lights might have excited you a lot because you were there in Washington when the lights were dimmed. And you.
There's a video of Ramaphosa telling people to eat cake. And a lot of people are saying it's not that deep, they don't get it. So I'm going to explain to you why it is that deep. Ramaphosa told people to eat cake in response to people calling him Cupcake. A child called him Cupcake live jive in front of like everybody. Then Ramaphosa came up on stage and was like, people call me Cupcake, and he doesn't know what to say about it. He has no response, but now he does have a response. And the response was to tell people to eat cake. Now, when looking at it on a surface level, eat cake makes no sense. Like it genuinely makes no sense. Like there's no correlation. What does eating cake, whether it's figuratively or literally, have to do with us calling you Cupcake? It makes no sense, right? Once you realize it makes no sense, you start asking the question, why would he say that? And then that's where the being woke or thinking too deep or overthinking things comes in. You link Ramaphosa saying eat cake to Marie Antoinette saying let them eat cake in France back in the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. Marie Antoinette said that to French citizens. She said let them eat cake. When French citizens complained about living in extreme poverty and famine, French citizens were hungry and they were poor like crazy. And Marie Antoinette was like, okay, if there's no bread, let them eat cake, right? To just highlight how out of touch with reality she was, how ignorant she was to the living situation for many French citizens at the time. So now that you have the little piece of information and you know the background of Marie Antoinette telling people to eat cake and saying let them eat cake, and then linking it with Ramaphosa saying eat cake, and telling us South African citizens to eat cake because you call him Cupcake, I hope you're able to draw some sort of conclusions and able to link certain things together. Ramaphosa is a very, very smart man. He's not just going to say eat cake for the fun of it. So I need people to stop trying to sanitize his image and stop infantilizing him, because that seemed like, no, it's not a big deal. And people infantilize him a lot. Cyril Ramaphosa is a smart man. He's a grown man as well. So he knows what he's doing. So trust me, I know for a fact that he knows what let them eat cake or eat cake means and where it comes from. Do with this information what you will and draw up your own conclusions. But anyway, hopefully now you understand why some people are angered.
Guys, it is hard to believe Ramaphosa does not understand the connotation let them eat cake. It is hard to believe. Considering a background yakhe and intelligence yakhe, let us not forget he's a highly intelligent man. He's very smart. I'll fake a position for being a cutie patootie and getting no mobile pan. So let me give you context as to why him saying eat cake was an issue. So before the French Revolution, there was a Queen of France, or Marie Antoinette, and it is said that supposedly when people were suffering, when poor people were suffering, she supposedly said, let them eat cake. And leo nto abantu abaphuwa ba-interpreta as her being out of touch or insensitive and not understanding ukuthi kahle hle i-suffering yini, yabo. So Ramaphosa being in a leadership position in a country where people have been screaming for help, him saying eat cake isikhumbuzele yonto historically, right? And it is not a stretch, because if you think about it, ukugibela kwengane stage ikubingelele ithi sawubona Cupcake, and then your response is eat cake, ayenzi sense leyo nto. Because what happened was a girl was on stage in Ghana high school. I think she was wearing a uniform or something, if not primary. Wambingelele sawubona cupcake. And then Ramaphosa, when he got on stage, he said that, Yazi, I never know how to respond when people say this. I don't know where it comes from, but today I do have a response, and my response is eat cake. It is really hard to believe, guys. Ngeke ingane igibele stage ikubingelele ithi cupcake, and your response is eat cake. Awenzi sense akuhlangani. Angicabanga ukuthi into yokuqala ecabangayo leyo. So a lot of people, it just seems like he was trying to send a message at Hile, or he was trying to be shady. And a lot of people see this differently. They think, Bengazi, he couldn't have known. You guys are reaching. It's kind of a stretch. But he's smart. Kukancane ukuthi engayazi leyo connotation ka let them eat cake is all some people are saying. Let's stop viewing him as some innocent old man ongazi lutho, as if a presidential position ithola inumuba nje bathola noma iliphi ikhehla belifake laphana.
Yabo into engiyithandayo ngoRamaphosa. uRamaphosa akasifihleli ukuthi uyini kahle kahle. Ramaphosa akafihli. Yithi nje singafuni ukubona ukuthi uRamaphosa uyini. Yithi esenza ngathi asiboni ukuthi uRamaphosa uyini. Ingane ithi kuRamaphosa alo cupcake. Enye into kumele siyeke bafethu. Yabo lento kubiza le athi le uRamaphosa ngo cupcake. I mean yangikhenya lento le. Yangikhenya. I don't like it. I don't even understand ukuthi qhamukapi, because it doesn't interest me at all. I hate this thing yokuthi uRamaphosa bizwe ngo cupcake. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yang nyanyisa ukuthi upresident kuzothiwa cupcake, and then we think it's cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Imagine President Putin kuthiwa cupcake. Imagine President Putin mangezwa ukuthi uRamaphosa ubizwa ngo cupcake eSouth Africa. Guys, no, stop this thing of calling uRamaphosa ngo cupcake. It's not cool, iyanyanyisa. Ngoba manje ubizwa ngo cupcake makasuka lapho uthi kulengane eat cake. Wenza ngathi akazi ukuthi eat cake usho ukuthini. Wenza ngathi akazi ukuthi eat cake usho ukuthini. Leyo nto ethi eat cake iqhamukapi. Wenza ngathi akazi. He knows very well ukuthi bekathini makathi eat cake kule yanxusi. He knows. There's no way ukuthi uRamaphosa angeke azi ukuthi eat cake usho ukuthini. Why did he say it if he doesn't know? Why did he say it? He knew exactly what he was saying. Eat cake. He knows ukuthi bekathini. Now, I mean, you know, this thing okubiza uRamaphosa ngo cupcake, I think it makes him think we actually like him. Or maybe siyam considera as a president or something like that. Or we view him as a president. We don't. Some of us don't. Some of us don't view uRamaphosa as a president or as umuntu or leadership like South Africa, because he's not. I don't view Ramaphosa as a leader. Even worse, why would I even call this guy ngo cupcake? South Africans again man. Hey man, uRamaphosa undleleni kahle kahle ngini. You know when abantu bayamnyanya uRamaphosa ne, but uRamaphosa makala, you would swear ukuthi hey, Yathile is the best president ever, when he is the worst president ever. How can we refer to this guy as cupcake? Nah man, this is annoying man. South Africans, can you stop this thing of calling this guy cupcake? Cause he doesn't even akaqualify nokuthi abizwe ngegama elimnandi lomjida lo. Ukuteketiswa akaqualify nokuqualify. So why are we referring to him as cupcake? Man, guys, ayi. Akeniyeke lento okubuka uRamaphosa as someone who is some sort of a savior or a nice guy. uRamaphosa is not a nice guy. This guy, not a nice guy at all. So guys, please lento ka-cupcake ayiphele ake niye ukubiza uRamaphosa ngo-cupcake. It's annoying. I mean iyangiyanyisa leyo nto ngoba angi-understand nokuthi ubizwa ngo-cupcake for what reason. Njobe inyanyisa kanje manje makuthiwa cupcake or mhlambe sichazeleni bafethu ukuthi lento ka-cupcake iqhamukaphi ukuthi singacasuki mhlambe niyamthuka so thina sisalele emuva so plug us bafethu sifuna ukwazi ukuthi lento ka-cupcake iqhamukaphi. If i-meaning yayo it's a meaning yokuthi siyam appreciate for some reason siyamncanya stop it. Oh.
And my chat is Sir Ramaphosa isn't dumb, guys. He has degrees. He knew exactly what he was saying when he said eat cake. He knew exactly what he was referencing to. He knew exactly what he was implying. And when that room went on and laughed, it just angered me even more. Let's not pretend like our president doesn't have degrees, guys. Let's not pretend like he isn't an educated person. He knew exactly what he was saying. He knew exactly what he was saying.
Let's talk about Sir Ramaphosa saying let them eat cake, and I'm going to use Maria Antoinette. She was an Austrian princess who married King Louis XVI, and why I think it is important for these South Africans to try and read up on the French Revolution, because not only is it prevalent in South Africa, still to this day, the social classes, but it is all over the world, the social classes that existed during the 1700s or the 18th century. Maria Antoinette was known in a very unpopular way for her extravagant lifestyle. They would always feast. If you watch some documentaries, they show the paintings of their dinner tables, and it's just filled with food, filled with steak, pig, like pork, beef cuts, different types of chicken, a lot of veggies, a lot of fruits, a lot of cake. During the uprising, the uproar was specifically about the high price in food, the cost of food, specifically bread. And the main thing that the peasants wanted was bread. They wanted bread to be affordable. They wanted for them to be able to have cheaper harvests, for the taxes to be alleviated from them, and to at least be sent to the upper class, specifically the nobility and the French clergy. Mind you, those people were never taxed up until a land reform bill was introduced. When Maria Antoinette was aware of the people wanting bread, she said to them, let them have bread. When she noticed that there was no bread, I think it was her servants that were telling her that there's no bread, she then said, let them eat cake. Let them have cake. In a condescending manner, let them eat all the food that's here. Let them feast, as if it was going to solve all of the issues that was going on in France in the 1700s. I'm reading from history.com. It says, not only were the royal coffers depleted, but several years of poor harvest, drought, cattle disease, and skyrocketing bread prices had kindled unrest among the peasants and the urban poor. Many expressed their desperations and resentment towards a regime that imposed heavy taxes, yet failed to provide any relief by rioting, looting, and striking. And then in the fall of 1786, King Louis XVI's Controller General, Charles Alexandre de Calonne, I think I'm saying that right, proposed a financial reform package that included a universal land tax from which the aristocratic classes would no longer be exempt. Now that you have just a little bit of background, you understand now that these people, like, poverty was insane. I would call this more of an oligarchy than an aristocracy. The gap between the richest people in France and the poorest people in France was so hectic. And the only sort of relief that Marie Antoinette could propose was for them to eat cake. So for Cyril Ramaphosa to say something like that at a speech of his, and then also for you guys to say it's not that deep, or for you guys to be laughing. I understand people who don't know, which is why I'm making this video, but for people who say it's not that deep, it is that deep. I want to tell you guys, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but the three social classes that existed during the French Revolution that still exist today: the estate clergy, again, that's the Catholic Church; the nobility, your politicians, your businessmen, your billionaires, the DA, Action SA, all of these political parties benefit, okay? They all benefit. Then in the lower social class, you've got the bourgeoisie, you've got your common people, which are everyday working class, and then you've got your peasants, which is people who are below the breadline, abantu basemakhaya, right? That is that class, and that exists to this day in South Africa, and not just in South Africa, but in Europe still, because France went through another revolution yet again. It exists in Nepal,
It exists in the UK. You're seeing it happen in the United States. So please don't laugh, and please don't say it's not that deep. Please educate yourselves. Please read up on history. It is very important that you guys know what is happening and why, when your president says eat cake, knowing that South Africa is going through a huge food insecurity crisis right now, alongside with job insecurity, along with people not being able to afford housing, people not being able to afford, they can't even live paycheck to paycheck because their bills are not finished by the time the paycheck is finished. I don't like saying paycheck because, Tina, it's a pay slip, it's your salary. The moment that your salary finishes, you still haven't paid your bills. There's a hell of a lot of bills. You still have loans to cover. You've got black tax, so you have to send money back home because people need money at home. We still have, you cannot laugh and you cannot say it's not that deep when it is. History is repeating itself, not just in South Africa, not just in the USA, but everywhere around the world.
Hello Mzansi, welcome to Umgosi waseMzansi. Kune video lebeseculator lapha enkundleni yokuxhumana yomntwana esikole lofunza grade 7 lo bekajabulile athula speech ajabulile ukuthi uyaqala kubona Cyril Ramaphosa waze wathi hello cupcake. Wathi makasukuma ke uRamaphosa sekathula sakhe speech yena wakhuluma ngalo yomntwana leyo ukuthi lo mntwana umbida nga-cupcake nebantu base-South Africa bambida nga-cupcake. The reason why abantu base-South Africa bambide nga-cupcake ukuthi uke wabatshela ukuthi they must eat cake. And people have been saying ukuthi people are laughing, they don't know what eat cake means. Siyamsesha laphana ku-Google eat cake kusho ukuthi basinika inkqazelo ya eat cake ukuthi usho ukuthini. Iyasho ukuthi the phrase eat cake or let them eat cake refers to an exact extreme indifference of ignorance to the suffering of others. Kusho ukuthi uRamaphosa uya-ignora kusafara kwebantu base-South Africa, symbolizing a disconnect between the wealthy and the poor. And bantu ngemva ukuthi beve ukuthi kahle kahle lo eat cake kusho ukuthini kahle kahle. Abantu bakwate ngendlela letiningi bakwate ngalenye indlela lengabili emuva, because people are saying ukuthi uyasithelela Ramaphosa usho ukuthini makathi u-ignorant towards kusafara kwebantu base-South Africa. Please do comment what you think below down on the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I'm signing out. Goodbye.